Attention carriers, brokers, and dispatchers. You're tuned into the eCarrierCheck channel, where we bring you the insider tips, tricks, and insights to drive your sales and logistics business to new heights. Each week, your hosts, Jared and Nate, sit down with the top professionals in the industry, diving deep into everything from prospecting and cold calling to maintaining carrier relationships and maximizing your bottom line. Learn real-world strategies, hear success stories, and get actionable advice you can implement in your business today. So buckle up and get ready for an entertaining and informative ride. This is the eCarrierCheck channel, your source for can't-miss logistics intelligence. Stay tuned.
Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the eCarrierCheck show. We're just riled up today because we got one of my favorite people on, Adam DIY Semi, and the chat is going nuts already. I just love your community, man.
they're a good one.
Oh, they are, man. They are. I love them.
They're on fire. The Ricky Lake comment just kills me, man. My grandma loved that show. I mean, it's so damn funny.
I don't see that one for some reason. Maybe it just didn't pop up. Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry about it. I had a couple technical difficulties here. Had to switch to my phone, but hopefully we're good. Man, it's been too long. It's been too long. Especially, in this kind of freight market. Been catching your shows, just haven't been able to participate that much. But how you guys been? What's new in your world, first of all? Because we're trying to simulcast this here on both channels. So what's new in your world?
Yeah, good question, man. Honestly, especially what we're talking about today, we've been talking to a lot of carriers lately, and they've been coming to us just trying to grow their company. So it's really good timing to kind of talk about what we're doing today. And but that's really been what's new in our world is just meeting with a lot of carriers recently and trying to help them grow their business, man. That's really what's been going on.
Yeah. Let's get into that because it's exactly what I've been doing here for the last few years, but really more so in the last couple. And boy, it's been quite a ride. I'll be honest with you. And you're busy. You've been busy. Haven't had a lot of time on my hands. Haven't done a lot on YouTube, but recently got some help here. We're to the point now where I just had to have some office help here. I told my wife, I says, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. So it's either we're done or you're the only person I want here in the office. She's very good at what she does. Awesome. And so, if you can cut back at your job or leave your job altogether, I need you here. And we did that. She cut her down to 2 days a week at her job. And then I said a week ago, I says, I can't handle this. So today's officially her last day at her job. And it's also our 20th wedding anniversary today.
Dude, happy anniversary. What a day.
You're on our show on your anniversary. Get her on the show. What are you doing?
She's at work. I already apologized. I said, honey, this morning I said, I never meant to put you through 20 years of this. I'm sorry.
Honestly, we speak with a lot of carriers that they have their wives helping them out. So honestly, shout out to those wives that are willing to just help out the team, man.
There's nobody else I would want. She's very competent, good at what she does. She knows trucking better than most people, and it's just awesome. She's been a great help, and now I have the help I need, thinking it would free me up to do a lot more things that I need to do. But instead of having more time, now we're just both really busy. So, which is good. Thankful for it.
You mentioned that you've been grinding, working over, growing that company of yours. How has your approach changed over the years? What's things working?
It is very different. My approach to things and my my first thought on things are no longer really that from a position of a driver, even though I still am. I'm in the truck a lot lately, just about every day. Been gone on the road a lot because we're busy. But a couple of things, we talked about growing your carrier during a difficult time, in any time really, but especially during a difficult time. And I've learned a few things here recently. And one of the biggest things that stands out in my mind is that some people are just hard to do business with.
Yeah. Your chat.
And I've cut a couple people out of my, circle here that are just hard to do business with.
Yeah.
I've tried to help them out. I've tried to feed them some work, and you just get the same tired excuses back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're your own worst enemy, right? When a customer calls, or a broker, anybody calls with some work, and you're trying to get after it and get it, and the first thing you do is try to find something wrong with it. Oh, it's too heavy. Oh, I don't like to go there. Oh, I don't like to drive my truck through the mountains. Oh, I don't want to have to drive at night. I don't want to have to this. I don't want to have to that. I don't want to have to be the one to pay the lumper fee. I don't think I should be responsible for that. You've become a problem to them, right? And there is so much of that going on. And then I look at, some other people in my inner circle, and we're of the like mind. He'll call me, or I'll call him. Hey man, you got a truck? Or hey man, you got a load? Yeah, I got it. What do you need? And you feed each other, right? Nobody's here of, oh, that doesn't work. I can't do that. And you have to give more than you take. You have to give more than you get, because it's the only way you're going to get ahead. These people don't want more problems. And anybody worth their salt remembers you. You help them out. You solve a problem for them. Even if you're not what they're looking for, they're coming back to you. And you might be thinking, oh, they're just feeding me their garbage. Well, take that garbage for a little while. It's going to pay off, right? And it's just so many people are their own worst enemy. I see it just constantly, and it's saddening to have to say that. But then it's okay. Do you see that in yourself? Are you recognizing that you're just right away trying to find something wrong with everything? I think that's a big reason. We're not the cheapest option. When somebody calls me for a load, we're definitely not the cheapest option, because I know the lanes we run. I know the markets very well, and they could cover that stuff cheaper, but they don't call those people. They call us. So, hey, here's the same load you did last week, but it's got this extra stop on it, and it's kind of a turd. I'm like, yeah, just send it over, man.
Yeah.
I don't have any backhauls out of that area. Well, backhauls suck out of that area. Well, they suck everywhere.
Yeah.
So, if you want to build something and you want to grow, be easy to do business with. It's such a big deal that I never thought of before until I experienced it, and other people started mentioning it, especially in these tough times, man, when there's maybe there's not a lot of freight. Maybe the rates are weak. And these people don't want to deal with that. You guys encounter, stuff like that from your side?
Gosh, you just hit a home run with just that comment of being able to just say, hey, would it just be easy? I think it's interesting too. You mentioned, I don't know how much of this was people around you outside of clients, but in some particular cases, you get drivers that you got to just let go, even though they're not at a point where they're hard to deal with. You don't want to call them. They don't want to go there. They don't want to tarp it. They don't want to do whatever. How much of your the people around you did you have to kind of eliminate when it came to relationships, or were these all essentially clients?
No, none of them were clients. Well, maybe one or two. Most of them were just, drivers or other people in different, actually other like owner operators, like small carriers and stuff like that, really is what it was. I just had to say, hey, we're going a different place, and I don't do business that old way anymore. We're doing business this new way. Follow, come along for the ride, or get the hell out of my way is what it is. And because they'll drag you down.
Yeah.
People love to drag you down.
If they can, the time suckers are real, man. You know what I mean? Like, we only
Yeah.
have so much time. We want to deal with the people we want to deal with. And I love what you said. These are my rates. I don't have to be the cheapest. And people are still coming back because you're giving them top-notch service. I think you have to be easy to work with is important. But I think something that's interesting about you, Adam, and you said this, I don't know if we were recording yet or not, but you said, I'm still having to get in the truck, and you're doing that because you want top-notch service and you want to give your clients what they deserve when it comes to paying you a premium. How have you used that? When you're coming to grow all your people, you've got how many people have you added? I guess in just the last like 6 months to a year, you're adding your wife, you've got more people. How are you just kind of driving that culture within your group of guys?
First of all, we're at 15 trucks now, including myself, and I'm in the truck almost every day. I think probably last time we talked, I was probably at 7, which isn't extraordinary growth, but when you try to really build it on a solid foundation and do it the right way, it takes time.
Yeah.
The way that we foster that environment is by setting an example. The guys see me out there busting my ass every day just like they are, and that goes a long way. And if they don't see it or recognize it, those are generally the weaker performers. Not that they're bad drivers. They're just, everybody's boy howdy is everybody in a different space. The discrepancy between my highest earning drivers and the lowest is a whole person's income. So it's you can't make everybody get it. You can't make everybody go along with it. You just gotta, you set the example, leadership, and in almost every instance, I'll sacrifice myself before I'll sacrifice one of them. In many ways, and one in getting yelled at, I'll take the ass chewing. And 2, if there's a crappy load, or 3, they break down, I got to go rescue a load, I'll go do that. I do a lot of that. I've deadheaded or bobtailed, more than 1,000 miles more times than I care to admit. And people say, well, that's stupid. That you're losing money. That's short-term thinking, man. And also, when you do stuff like that and you keep the customer informed every step of the way, hey, this truck broke down, I'm on it. It's 3:00 in the morning. I'm bobtailing to where the hell did I recently go? Pennsylvania. They recover this. We're gonna team it. They're gonna jump in the truck with me. We're gonna team it back. Your load's gonna be on time. Man, that goes a long way. When not that you're trying to garner sympathy, you're letting them know, hey, I'm on it. This is what we're doing to take care of your load. They come back for more. And then when they do, I try to have a conversation with everybody, that we do business with regular rather than just one-offs. And I learned this from a broker. And when they're talking about this and that, I'll be like, hey man, hit the easy button. I'm right here. Just give me the load. Or I got a truck there. I'm going to have a truck there tomorrow. Hit the easy button. Just give it to me. So I use that phrase now. I learned that from a good broker. It makes them think, yeah, man, this guy does a good job. I'll pay him. We'll just get it done. And that's
Walk us through your thought process. We get this question a lot. I mean, a lot. Walk us through. You're sitting at 7 trucks and you need to go to number 8, or you need to go to 10. How did that decision making process work for you? What came into play? Walk us through kind of that, from whether you went from 7 to 8 or 7 to 10. Walk us through what happened in your mind.
Well, I might have went about it backwards than most people, and that's maybe why it's worked out. I had the freight first, rather than going to buy the trucks first and looking for the freight. I had the freight first, and it just continued to grow. And I'm like, holy crap, I need some help. I can't do this. We're outgrowing, freight wise what I have for trucks. So going out looking and just leveling with people, say, hey, here's what it is. Here's what to expect. Things aren't always great, whatever. Are you in? A lot of times they're in, put them in try to set them up for success as best I can, and the rest is up to them. But yeah, it's probably backwards from the way most people do it, where they add the trucks first. I kind of added the freight first. And you you get real hungry, realizing, hey, this is everything I ever asked for and everything I ever wanted. Maybe I should not screw this up. So you just get out there and try to find people. Then it's people are more inclined to come over if they know you have the freight rather than if, hey, we'll find something for you to do, I guess. And that's a balance, because you never have both. Either you have the trucks and not the freight, or the freight and not the trucks. It's just trucking. It's just how it is. You never have that perfect scenario. And having conversations with the people we haul for and saying, hey, we're trying to grow here. Can we grow together? Can we grow into this lane or whatever? And most times they're real receptive to that. You just got to tell them what you're doing and have the conversation and build relationships. I we say it all the time. It's worth repeating. It sounds hokey, but the number one thing in this whole industry anymore is relationships. It's more and more apparent to me every day. It's more important than, people aren't going to like this. It's more important than what kind of truck you drive. It's more important than your fuel mileage. It's more important because relationships will get you through the tough times. It'll get you through anything. Trucks come and go. No, trucks aren't forever. Relationships is where it's at with everything, not just freight. Equipment, insurance, banks. It's never been more important in trucking than right here, right now. And for the last couple of years.
What mistakes do you see some of these owner operators making when they're trying to grow their company? I'm sure that you've been through mistakes yourself, but when people come to you, I know a lot of people come to you. Look at this chat, man. This is lovely.
It's wild.
But what are some mistakes that you see owner operators making, or maybe what are some things that they can try to stay away from so they don't make mistakes while they're trying to grow a company?
Well, probably as far as mistakes go, trying to have everything perfect, it is never going to be perfect. It's not. You just got to decide if you're doing it, you just got to go do it. Right. A lot of mistakes are going to be made. A lot of the mistakes are going to cost you money. You just got to go do it. The timing will never be perfectly right. And number two is, listen, I'm a numbers guy. I sit down all the time with the numbers. But when you're trying to grow or get somewhere, there's just certain times when you got to just say, numbers be damned. This is what I'm doing. It may not make any sense at all numbers wise, but you have to just go do it, with certain things. So those are probably the biggest mistakes. Maybe with the numbers thing, maybe you could call it overanalyzing. Sometimes you just got to put that aside and make a decision. And it's sometimes those decisions are going to be losing decisions, but sometimes it's just what you got to do to get where you need to go. And what was the other part of that?
No, you hit it on the head, man. Just understanding what mistakes people can stay away from. Yeah. And I saw someone in the comments too. It's like, breakdowns have been kicking their ass. How are you handling breakdowns? And that's a thing too. It's understanding cash flow and where to put the cash and things like that. And I know you have more things to touch on. I'm not a truck driver by any means, but I do hear that breakdowns they're ruining people. It's pain.
They're killing me. Yeah. They're absolutely killing me. And it's mostly, lately it's just mostly been reefer trailer breakdowns and maintenance for most of it, not all of it. But yeah, I sympathize with that. It is. Last month was maybe my worst month ever for maintenance bills, and incidentally, that was always also my highest revenue month ever. So it kind of worked out. It could cover up from some mistakes. So yeah, and it's how hungry are you too? How bad do you want it? Like I put myself out more than I probably should to make some of these things happen to keep other people happy. But I'm convinced that's the only way to get where you need to go. I could be very wrong, but it's the only way I know how to do it. I'm probably not smart enough to do it any other way. If I was a little bit smarter, I probably wouldn't have to work so hard.
appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
I'm a farm kid. I'm a farm kid. It's all about just, well, damn it, if it needs to be done, I'll just go do it my damn self, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but no, why your channel should be one of the biggest YouTube channels out there, and I think it's in time it's gonna be. It's just gotta catch on and catch the wave, because the stuff you guys talk about and the real world, activity you put into it with making the phone calls,
Mhm.
live. How could that be any better? Like if you don't take something away from that, I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it's done. And my mindset shift over the last couple of years is just been weird. It's just been an experience to go through. I look at things very differently now, and it's hard to describe. But you go through certain experiences, and even with just freight, and you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Oh, the trucks, the customers, this, the that. Oh, this is how bigger companies do it. So then you start to think like a business owner and you know, at a different level, and then it starts to come together and happen.
Mhm.
Whereas a mindset from a driver, which is where I come from, if I only thought about the things from the mindset of a driver, I would not get anywhere, because it's not that it's not important. Don't get me wrong; it's one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. But as the person where the buck stops here, I can't let every single individual load upset me or get me feeling a certain kind of way. It's my job now as the leader is to concern myself with the much, much bigger picture. And it's hard to do that when you're caught up in the day to the day. I still have that problem sometimes with being in the truck. I'll find myself getting caught up in that minutia where I have to say, stop. This isn't what you need to be concerned with.
Mhm.
Back up, bigger picture. This load sucks, but how would it change your business and your future going forward if you had this very load every week?
Mm.
Right? Even though there's some problems with it. I got a phone call yesterday. We're supposed to have a meeting today of a whole new freight lane. I didn't ask for this. It was just somebody I built a relationship with, a working relationship, called me and said, "Hey, I just had this fall in my lap and I thought of you." I'm like, damn, how do you put yourself in a position in your life and your business where people think that of you,
Yeah.
that you're going to be the one they call when something falls in their lap? And then you start putting the energy into that of, okay, what did I do to build that relationship? Because that's how I need to go build a relationship with everybody else. I need to do exactly that of what I did right there. So then you got to think, okay, what are all the things I did? Well, when he called me, they say, "Hey, Adam, I got this load. I had somebody fall off it. Can you cover it?" And the only word out of my mouth is yes. I didn't ask where it picks up. I didn't ask when. I didn't ask how much. My answer was yes. So let's do some more of that. And then you just discuss the details of, okay, is it even possible, right? And hey, here's what I didn't even ask the question. I just said, hey, here's what I can. Here's where the truck is. Here's when he can be there. What do you need? Right? Had a friend call me from Delaware. Hey, man, I got a truck broke down in Illinois. All I said was, hey, what do you need? Be the what do you need guy. And the money's going to be there. They're not gonna you bail somebody out, they appreciate it. So that's what I did for that guy, and now he's calling me saying, hey, 30 loads in the next 2 months, and a contract going forward, 7 loads every week going down to Texas and Louisiana, and three of them are matched up with backhauls. So what are we talking? I don't know, maybe almost $1 million in new business because you treated somebody right.
Right.
I mean, we didn't even get into the details of it yet. Maybe it won't even work out, but your first call. That's a good feeling. It's a good place to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly, I mean, if you're watching today, you're at the beginning stages of growing anything, whether it's a brokerage, whether it's your pipeline, whether it's your trucking company. It doesn't matter. Rewind about 5 minutes, because Adam, you kind of hit it on the head. you talked about thinking bigger than just being, that truck driver or that broker. And you talked about how the importance of relationships are, and building a community. The people that you've figured out, whether it's, I need this guy to help me fix my trucks, or I need this guy to buy trucks, or I need this guy to finance trucks. You've surrounded yourself with people that allow you to be successful and will be willing to take one step forward and possibly two steps back, but they'll at least keep going with you because of the relationships you've built. And I think that's honestly everything in this industry. We talk to so many different people, and the digital age of the phone and all this technology and all this aspect has almost hindered communication. And I think if you get good at talking to people, at building relationships, at just being a person and going, you know what, I can friggin' help on that. Yes, let's do it. And being easy to work with. I mean, we just solved all the world's problems pretty much, Adam. I mean, in the last 25 minutes, we could dive into hunger at this point and see if we can kind of work through that, or the government. I'm down. But we've solved some interesting issues right here and there in 25 minutes on how to grow a trucking company just by what you just said. I love every second, and just even the passion you have, man. It's just incredible.
It's really just that simple. It's not complicated. People say, "Well, that was stupid. I didn't talk nothing about financing and this." You know what? Doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. Doesn't it? It ain't.
Adam might
Of relationships. There.
Yep.
Oh,
now we're back.
Okay. Yeah, people might feel gypped by this. So I tuned in to learn how to grow a trucking company. I didn't learn nothing about getting fuel discounts or tires or maintenance or buying equipment. Well, guess what? It's not as important. It's not. If you have, now obviously it's awesome to have a trucking company where your fleet averages 7.5 miles per gallon versus 5 miles a gallon. Guess what? Still not as important as relationships. It's just not, So if you're feeling that way, examine what you believe. Really. It's just that important.
Yeah, I also like how you said, I looked at the relationship where the guy called and said, hey, this is that. I'm a huge believer in replicating success, because it does kind of turn and it just can compound very quickly. And
it does.
So anytime you can replicate a sales call, a relationship, not everybody's the same, but that's when things start to compound, is when things start to replicate, because you're like, oh, I need to make this many calls a day, or I need to follow up with this guy a day, or I need to get my billing done, because guess what? My AR and AP are wildly successful, because you keep replicating the same operational, process, right? And so looking at all of those things, whether it's relationships, operational costs, technology, man, you just have to continue to look at it and go, can I get better? And how do I replicate what is working?
Yeah. I think what helps that too is learning from your mistakes, right? If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're not going to do anything you just said, right? And you have to think differently. If something's not working, you have to try and do something different. Obviously, I know, Adam, like I said, I know people come to you probably every day just asking for input and advice. Awesome. Tune into your videos and try to take your company to a new level by trying something different.
Yeah.
You're right. We didn't talk about tires and breakdowns and all that stuff today, but you're right. Take your relationships to the next level with the people you have around you. And you never know. Like you said too, those people that you're building relationships, they have relationships. It's just like a chain reaction. You know what I mean? Because this industry is like that. All these chain reactions. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. And you said too, tires, maintenance, equipment, all this. Well, the question was building a trucking business.
Yeah.
Right? Business is different. Business isn't necessarily those things. That's trucking. This is business. And this really translates to any business, anybody in any industry. You're a salesperson. In every aspect, you're a salesperson. You're selling the drivers. You're selling your company. You're selling everything you have to offer. And I'm not a good salesperson. So if I can do it, I'm pretty convinced other people can do it.
Yeah.
And give as much as you get. Maybe give twice as much as you get, and listen to twice as much as you talk. If you let people talk, they're gonna tell you some things because they don't like silence, right?
Yeah.
I had the dude that I talked to yesterday about the new freight. I just said, yeah, answering his questions, and he says, I just sat there for a minute. He's like, I got this broker doing it right now, and he's got my warehouse all jammed up. He's not moving the freight out. He's not getting the freight out. And the first thing out of my head was, oh, okay, he has a problem. So solutions come with money, right? He's probably willing to pay me a little bit more than they're paying them if I can get his warehouse unjammed, is what I'm thinking. So we'll have some meetings about that, and let people talk.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love that. Adam, man, I can't thank you enough here for just joining us. I know you got stuff to do today, so I appreciate you for just taking the time and shedding just wonderful advice for everybody. Like Jared said, whether you're trying to grow your company or brokerage or pipeline, whatever, this is all really good advice. What advice or tips that you have for anyone that's just bought their first truck, trying to grow their company? What advice can you give them? Maybe from a mental health aspect to, because obviously everyone in this message or on the show today knows how quickly it can really mess with your head. You got to take some time to step away. You know what I mean? So any advice to these guys are just buying their first truck, handling the stress, things like that? What advice or tips do you have for these people?
Be hungry. Hang in there. It's worth it. Give yourself, allow yourself to make some mistakes. Even though things are going to happen, they feel like the end of the world. They're not. The world will go on. Don't let every little thing upset you. Don't let other people talk you into being upset. If you're getting upset with some things you're seeing or hearing on social media, turn it off, because it's just noise. You're in it to win it for the long term. Just keep on trucking, keep on plugging away, educate yourself. And if you're listening to people that are getting you upset, they're not the people you want to be listening to. Just turn it off and find somebody else. There's plenty of great information and stuff out here on YouTube with eCarrierCheck, a lot of different other channels. You will become who you surround yourself with, so surround yourself with better people. Trucking is not all bad. There is good things in trucking. It can be a great living for you and your family. It can be a great business. It'll be what you make it. Honestly, there's not a lot of other businesses out there where you have so much control over your own destiny. So it can be anything you want it to be.
I love that, man.
I do too. Such a fan. Adam, thank you for being on today. Thank you for the wise words, the advice. I loved the chat. Your crowd is completely wild. I wasn't expecting some of them, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. I hope if we don't talk, I hope you have an incredible Thanksgiving with your family and that you're not in a truck. And we'll chat a little later, man. Thank you for being on, bro.
Thanks again, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. See you.